pressure to be thin and the obsession with having a small waist can lead some women to habitually tighten their abs or suck in their stomach. But that can eventually lead to something called hourglass syndrome.
Joining us now to talk more about this, Dr. Scott Krakauer, a psychiatrist at Zucker Hillside Hospital. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's talk about it. We've got it right here. Hourglass syndrome. What is it, and why do people do it?
That's great. So it's a syndrome. It's not a full medical diagnosis syndrome. It's a syndrome that occurs from habitually gripping your stomach tightly over and over again, which in turn can lead to medical complications and other things that could go wrong. So the idea basically is you're sucking in your stomach because you're trying hypothetically to look thinner, or because maybe it's been ingrained in you to do so from younger years. And then as a result of sucking in the stomach repetitively, it can cause problems anywhere from the lungs to the diaphragm to the neck and beyond.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that, because you have seen more and more over the years people using those waist trainers. So why is it dangerous to suck in your stomach for long periods of time?
You know, what happens really is like when you're sucking in your stomach, you're not training yourself the right way. So your body's getting used to something that's artificial. And what happens as a result of this is that you're using the wrong muscles to almost like contract everything, and then the right muscles aren't being utilized. So you have an imbalance going on there, essentially.
Yeah, is it something you've seen before with people who have come to see you as patients?
Well, I see it like rarely, if I do, like as a direct, report, but I have seen a lot of people reporting to me that they're sucking in their stomach. One would question, maybe it's just not going as reported, or maybe they don't realize that they're short of breath because they're chronically sucking in their stomach.
Or that they think it's something that they shouldn't be doing, because, I don't know. We say
maybe
things
they're
like
just
that
not
all the
open
time,
about
right?
it.
Stand up straight, suck in your stomach.
Right.
I know.
Okay, so doctor, is there a way to actually reverse the effects of doing this over time?
There is. I think that it's going to take, if you've been in this situation where you're like any other habit that you've formed that might be difficult to break, I feel like you have to first get into the headspace. What can I do to stop myself? And sometimes it's repetitive thoughts, almost like this is like an obsessional thinking style where you have to chronically tell yourself to stop. And then after you breaking through like that, when you tell yourself to stop, the question is, could you do something differently to substitute the behavior, right? So this is very, in my head, behavioral. What can I do to make things different? And a combination of behavioral strategy plus preventative strategy, like working out in the right way. Maybe a trainer would help you more, or something just to teach you to almost like retrain the muscles. And then finally, like opening up the muscles that have been restricted, like the diaphragm, the pelvis, and things like that through various types of techniques and other types of therapies to help open the muscles back up again.
You say it's behavioral and you tell people to tell themselves to stop, but that's not, it's easier said than done. Is there anything you recommend to people who are mentally battling either a need for a flat stomach or something else they might have obsessive thoughts about?
Yeah, it could be, I think sometimes like you can feel free to like open up to someone that's close to you. Sometimes having a therapist that you could talk to work things out with. Some people have reported even to me that going online and finding like self apps to sort of like help them to keep going and remind themselves like that, you've got this, like motivational type apps have helped them or to calm down. I've heard everything from A to B to C, all of this to just sort of help you to, like regroup yourself and help with the obsessional thoughts, especially with and surrounding weight.
Yeah, stop the cycling, right?
Definitely good to know.
It's a terrible cycle once you've gotten into it.
Well, Dr. Krakauer, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about this issue.
Yeah, thank you so much again, guys. Take care and be well. Bye-bye now.
You too.